How you doing?
Good, good. How are you, Adam, Frank?
Good to see you. Good morning to you, I should say.
Yeah.
Afternoon to you.
Anything happen overnight we should know about?
Maybe. About half an hour ago. Yeah, I'm just so psyched for this tool. It just sort of suits me so well, and I just thought I gotta have one more go before I talk to you guys, right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great lift, man.
Oh, thanks very much.
Yeah, biggest lift so far, man. That's huge.
Wow.
I think the only guy that's actually pulled a little more is Clay Edgen. He pulled 211, and it slipped out of his hand when he was going for the lockout. But on a 5-inch lift, he may have got it on a 5-inch lift. But man, I mean, when you're competing against Clay Edgen, who's like two of you,
that's crazy. That's crazy, right?
Can't complain about that. So that was pretty awesome, man.
Oh, thanks very much. I've got no problems, losing to monsters like that. That's for sure.
Well, you're actually at the top of the list now. So there you go, man. His lift was before the 5-inch lift, so that's cool.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
So, yeah, you're actually the first guy we've talked to that has actually held the Golden Potatoes and got to play with them before we talked to you. So tell us what you think about it.
Man, I think it's a really cool implement. I think it forces you to use it the exact way you designed it. If you've got to have your fingers right where you want them. You've got to kind of crimp it, or else that edge kind of digs in, and you have to use your thumb. If the ring bolt was a bit longer, you could quite easily hold it without a thumb.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's short, when you pull with just fingers only, it tilts. So the edge on the front gets worse. So you're forced to do that squeezing hold that you guys designed it for. So there's just no way around it. Everyone does the same lift. It's cool. Yeah.
Right on, man. Glad you like it, for sure.
Yeah, I really like it. And it forces that crimp, because when you hold it, your pinky's kind of stretched out already and your other fingers are crimped. So when your weight gets heavier, these fingers start opening, and then all it does is drag that pinky off. Fingers have to stay strong, or else it will tear.
Yeah, exactly. You got to work on that strong pinky, and we thought about that a little bit because we're really into the grippers, and we want strong pinkies to be able to close the gripper. So we thought, let's give something that really gives a test on the edge. So got that rounded edge and a tiny little purchase for your pinky.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a really cool idea. It's like the grab hold walnuts and stuff. It's just different. It's cool. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah, we were hoping just to give people something to smile about during the whole pandemic and whatever. So
something a little unique and different for sure.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's great. How are you guys going?
Good. So for people that don't know who you are, tell us a little about yourself.
I'm Joe Hodgson. Married to my beautiful wife, Kelly. I've got 2 really awesome kids, Oscar and Macy. I do rock climbing. I do surfing. I'm a high voltage operator for the local electricity power authority. And any free time I've got, I just try and lift as much weight as I can with my fingers.
Awesome. That's cool, man.
Yeah. It's good.
So your kid's gonna give the Golden Potato a go?
I tried to get them to have a go, and they were far more interested in just writing everywhere with my chalk. My daughter grabbed it, and she's kind of, likes jewelry and stuff. And she's like, I need that gold thing. And I'm like, don't drop it, So I think she'll have a go for sure. My little boy, he wouldn't know what's going on. So I think he'd like to play with it, but he's only 2. He's only 2, so he's not quite there yet.
Okay, so we actually had a couple of fan questions come in for you.
All right, okay.
So first one is, what's with all the twisting?
I have no comment for that. There was a YouTube video of someone that looked remarkably similar to me that was at a UFC fight, I guess, and they were yelling out some awful things about twisting the 2 fighters should do to each other, body parts that normally don't come into these kind of fights. And it just it just sort of ran from there. It was every time someone trains us now, you know, make sure you train your twist, and it's just kind of, it's just gone silly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's about probably 10 or so Aussie grip guys that I talk to. We've got a bit of a chat. We just kind of nicknamed ourselves the AGC, the Australian Grip Council. And
Okay.
every day there's just streams of people hitting PRs and training. It's just so good for motivation. All the guys are psyched, and we all live really far apart. So it's super cool we can do that because we can't all meet up to train, you know?
Yeah, that's way cool, man.
Awesome. That was actually the next question was, what is the AGC?
Yeah, tell us about the AGC. The next question.
We kind of talked to each other through posts, and then guy Glenn Hunter down in Melbourne came up with the idea that we should just start a chat. And then a week later, I was like, why on earth have we not done that yet? So I started this group, and everyone thought of someone else we should, you know, include in it. And then it's just gone from there. It's really highly motivational, and we're all different backgrounds coming into grip, and we're all at different levels, and it's just really cool to see people hit PRs. And you know, you see it so often. I'm not training tonight, no way. And then 4 posts later, like, that's it, I'm gonna go do axle, you know. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. We feel like that when we ran into Instagram. I mean, there's just a lot of good guys on there that motivate us to, you know, to get at it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah. It's an amazing community. I remember I first got into it and I got a hub, and I was Googling the Iron Mind hub, and I looked up, and Harry Tolan, and he was the world record holder, and I just emailed him on Instagram like, hey, I'm pretty new to this. Any chance you could offer me some hints? Thinking, you know, I'll just try. And straight away he came back with all this helpful information. He was super friendly, and I've had the same thing from Adam and Tanner, and you know, all these monster guys that are just, you know, right up there, and everyone's just so helpful and cool. And yeah, it's just an amazing community, right? Everyone's so supportive.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Absolutely.
everyone's just so keen to see everyone hit their own goals. It's not me versus you. It's, hey, you hit a PR, awesome, you know?
Yeah.
Much different than the sports world. I mean, just us starting out, you know, really getting into grip, and we've been invited by Adam to come over and compete in King Kong and hang out with him for an extra day and train with him and work out. And it's like, if I was going to be a, you know, wide receiver, it's not like Jerry Rice is going to be like, yeah, come over to my house for a barbecue. I'll teach you all the secrets. Just
I know.
not going to happen.
I know. Usually it's pretty shrouded, right? To get to the top, no
Yeah.
one's telling you up there, but in grip, they're like, hey, man, why don't you try this? And you should work on that. And yeah, it's really, really cool. You know?
Yeah, for sure, man. We've definitely had a lot of support the whole time we've been into it. So
yeah.
What got you into grip? I know you were into climbing originally. How'd you make the transition into grip sport?
I started climbing, and like everything I got hooked on, I tried it once, and then I was like, okay, I like this. How do I get as good as I possibly can, as quick as I can? So it just bridged from there. You know, the premise on climbing is you can climb for as long as your hands will keep you on the rock, right? As soon as your hands let go, you're kind of off. So I started training grip a lot. I had an old flatmate that trained really hard as well. He's a really powerful guy. And I just really enjoyed the training side of it. And then it kind of, I had periods where I just enjoyed training more than climbing. And in the summer, it's too hot and humid here. So there'd be 4 or 5 months of the year where I'd just be in the garage training so that when winter came, you were ready and you could step on rock and climb okay, you know? And yeah, that was kind of it. And then when COVID hit about a year ago, it just, me and my family, we left Sydney, which is one of the major cities here, and went up to the farm to stay at my wife's parents' place. And I didn't have any of my equipment. So I just started doing grip stuff with the stuff on the farm. And a buddy of mine, a strength equipment company called Club Strong, he sent me these cool pinch blocks, and I was training with them, and I don't know, I just really loved it, and it sort of went from there.
Wow. So you've only been into grip for a few years?
Yeah, I've been climbing for 25 years, I guess. And you know, doing finger strength specific stuff for that for probably 20 years now, I guess. So when I came to grip, my fingers were ready, but my wrists and thumbs were not. So you realize quite quickly where your weakness is. You know, I'll get a new grip tool and I'm like, okay, cool, like the tip tester, and I'm like, yeah, that suits me. I can pull pretty cool numbers straight away. And then I'll get something like a rolling handle, or you know, something else that doesn't suit me, and I'm like, man, you know, I'm baseline as low as you can get. And I think that's really cool. You to train stuff that is not your predominant interest. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely, man. Like I can blow this guy away on grippers, but there's a lot of lifts with 2-inch bars he can just murder me on. And I played with grippers for 10 years. It doesn't make any difference for my axle. You know, it's really neat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you right, it's still your wrist, and you know, it's really cool. It forces you to train all aspects, which is really cool as well.
For sure, it never gets boring. Yeah.
No, I find it hard to focus. I go down the garage and I've got 50 grip tools, and like I was pretty sure I was going to do rolling handle today, but you know, the grab ball's calling me, or there's the potatoes, or
exactly.
Yeah, it always evolves into like a wall of grip in everybody's garages. I noticed.
Exactly. Mine's not like that because I live near the coast, so everything would just rust overnight. So mine's all hidden in boxes. But when you open the box, it's like, ooh, choices there.
That's awesome. Like little treasures, man.
You shovel up your boxes each night. Like, what am I going to pull out tomorrow?
Yeah, usually you guys are probably the same. Your session's determined by what's not sore. I ripped my thumb apart on the hub. Okay, I guess it's fingers tonight. You know, I trained inch. Well, I won't be doing rolling handle today. I guess it's going to be fingertips again. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a skin tear, or you know.
And we got really stoked about tearing cards. I finally got my first deck, so I was like, I got to keep doing this. And then my fingers are dead, and I'm like, oh well. I guess I'm doing wrist stuff today.
I tore my finger apart. I'm like, well, I guess I won't get that for another week. I guess I have to wait.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly right. You get the hang of it, you work out the technique, and then your finger's so bruised or your skin's torn, you're like, oh man. And sometimes, you know, it might take a week to heal, and it's just the most frustrating week in the world because you know you're down and you want to do it again.
You're like, can I wrap enough tape around this so it'll feel okay?
Yeah, that's right. Super gluing your skin together, and
exactly.
I will train.
Yeah, just give me another training opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of inches, how's yours going? You chalked it up?
I haven't chalked it up. I've given it a couple pulls. I was able to lift it to lockout with like 2 fingers against the back globe. So that's pretty good, you know. As soon as I pull that hand away, though, it rolls right out the thumb. So, you know, we'll get it.
Once that spin starts, it's all over, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The death roll.
Yeah.
Crocodile.
But yeah, I mean, just yanking on it, you know, it gets a little off the ground and then rolls. So I mean, I can get it maybe like here or so off the ground, and then it just flops over. But it's better than nothing.
Oh, 100%.
You know, so
what a feeling to have it out, right?
Yep. And I mean, it's here, so it's not like we're not going to play with it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Even if it takes 5 years, it's still going to weigh the same.
Exactly.
For sure. I feel a lot closer to that than I do the Fat Man. The Fat Man's pretty brutally wide. For sure.
Yeah. I've got the Blob trainer, and I don't know if my hands are too small, but it just feels like it's not for me, you know. It just feels really hard. I enjoy a challenge, and I've only had a couple of sessions on it, but that's probably as far as it's going to go here because I just don't know how you get blobs in Australia.
Yeah, have you got your hands on a blob yet?
No, I haven't. I have
they're definitely the trainer's more round than the blob is. The blob definitely has a more of a, you know, a straight edge, and then it drops off. I can show you the difference.
Like on the back of the mask, it's that.
This is the trainer you have here, right?
Oh yeah.
The Ryan Pitts trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Around. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So you can
see,
get a one joint crease in the where you want it.
so you can get your hand on it a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Whereas
Yeah.
with this guy, as you probably know, you're kind of like, do I want to be over here? Do I like my thumb's too stretched out? I can't get, all that weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can use it the wrong way around while you're warming up, and it feels great. But as soon as you get to one, it's like, no, back the other way again.
So yeah, I definitely, I'm right there with you on that guy because my hands are about 7.5 inches.
Yeah, mine are the same.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, then I know
yeah.
I can do some of that monster stuff with that size of hand. So that's awesome to know.
Anything's possible.
That's right. I got a messed up right thumb, so I got to train my left hand to get stronger, which is going to be weird. So it's my left hand's almost an inch of a stretch longer than my right hand because of my right thumb.
Oh, you got to take advantage of that.
So I got to train the left and the left wrist a lot, and then I can really get it because I have a 10-inch spread and like 8.5-inch hand. So definitely have hand size for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. It's really hard if you've got one strong hand. I don't know. It's just more rewarding when you do more lifts, so you tend to favor your strong hand. I find.
Yeah.
So my left hand was really strong, and I was having great success with that. And then I got this injury. I got a herniated disc in between my C6 and C7 vertebrae in my neck, and it was pushing on the C7 nerve, which goes down your left arm. So it just felt like my whole arm was on fire and my fingers were numb. So my physio basically just said, no weight whatsoever on your left arm. You can lift up to, 70% on your right arm, see if it affects it. So every time I go, like this morning, I go down and do about 5 lifts, and then I'm like, all right, I'll wait a couple of hours and see if it's affecting me, see if my neck gets sore or.
Yeah. How you doing now?
I'm not having any pain in my left arm. I'm getting feeling back in my left fingers, which is really cool. I've got a bit of neck stiffness, and I'm not sure if that's because of it or I'm just more aware of that area now.
Yeah.
Probably just a postural thing. I hurt my lower back at the same time. That was the reason I was in the physio, and that seems to have made a really good mend. It's come back really quickly. When I first did it, I went upstairs and I was crying. I was looking at my kids thinking, man, I'm never going to be able to pick up my kids again because I was in so much pain. And I called an ambulance, and they came out, and they gave me some of the good drugs and stuff. And by the next day, I was up and walking again. So when I saw a physio a couple of days later, he said, we think you just got really close to your limit. And then your body's just gone, no, that's close enough. And just shut the shop down.
Wow.
And he said, you've done an injury, going off all your symptoms. So we can start lifting again a bit. But I can't do anything on my left arm, and I'm super conscious back as well.
Could have been a lot worse, man. Yeah. I just had this great physio just straight away. I was telling him the symptoms of my arm, and he said, I also had a sore shoulder. I'm falling apart. And he said, I don't think it's anything to do with your shoulder. I think you've done your neck. So I went and got scans and everything. And sure enough, it confirmed it. So, I can't thank him enough, because if I kept going with it, who knows how long the recovery would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
That's one of the things about lifting, I guess, is that, you go down to do rolling handle, but your hands might not be the first thing that maxes out that day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I was doing this dumbbell at the time. I don't know if you saw on my Instagram, and it was the first time I'd ever got it that high, and I was sure I was going to get it. But because it's such a long dumbbell, you've got to lift it up quite a way out from your body, and it was really awkward. And I was tired and I was run down, but I thought, I'm training grip today. I was so determined. And, like, this is happening, no question. And I did it, and it just made me realize, man, how many other factors there are to grip than just, your hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're getting that the territory where our deadlift is getting close to our axle lift. Like, honestly. Okay. And that's pretty obnoxious, to tell you the truth, because you're like, I just want to axle lift more often, but then you got to work the deadlift and get that heavier in order to be able to axle lift more often.
That's exactly. You've got to go back to go forward.
Yeah, exactly. So
I figure if I just keep axle lifting, automatically make my deadlift stronger. So whatever, it'll just keep going up the same, right?
Exactly right.
My deadlifted 450. I mean, it was on an axle, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to do deadlift. Just keep axle.
What do you hit on a bar? Who cares?
Yeah.
What's your point?
Why do I need to do that?
Yeah. It's all about the axle anyway, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
And I changed mine. I was lifting on the 50 mil bar, and then I was like, well, hang on, my grip's exceeding my deadlift now. So I made it a 60 mil bar, and then again, my grip was exceeding my deadlift. Then I made it a 3-inch bar, and finally I met my match where, you know, my deadlift about 140 kilos was, you know, just getting there with my hands as well. So I sort of made it harder and harder on my hands to
Just making the bar fatter and fatter. That'll do it.
yeah. To meet my weakness, which was my deadlift.
That's crazy, man. A 3-inch bar with the same size hand as me. I can't imagine. That's awesome. Yeah, I pull on a 2.5-inch bar. I think I got like 250 pounds on a 2.5-inch bar, and I thought that was pretty good.
It is
crazy.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. So, what motivates you to compete?
To be honest, I haven't really done much competition. The only competition I did was last year. I ran King Kong in Sydney, and we had about 5 or 6 guys, just all mates. This was all coming off the back of COVID, so I wanted to keep it tiny, and I'd never competed, let alone run a competition before. So it was a great little event. Everyone turned up, and I think we got two trophies. My mate Tom Denmead just blitzed his competition in his weight class. Another mate, Aaron, he did the same in his.
And 74 kilo leader, I believe.
Yeah, he's crazy. I think he did 1.5 times body weight, little bighorn the other day. So he's just
wow.
His power to weight is just insane. Really strong guy. He was actually one of the guys I got into grip with mainly. He was coming climbing with me all the time, and then COVID hit, and I was talking about grip stuff, and he just jumped on board and ran with it as well. And you know, he's just as psyched as me, and he's going amazing. Really strong guy.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's beating his weight class.
Say it again?
I said he's the guy to beat in his weight class.
Oh,
yep.
For sure. Yeah, he's going great. And the only other competition I've done is just online stuff, like, you know, with the couch potato lift and stuff like that. It's just kind of virtual competing where you just posted and was like, hey, I know that's more than I lifted, or you know.
Yep.
And all these records, you know, they're good until someone stronger decides they're going to have a go.
Yeah, absolutely.
World record, and then Tanner looks at him and goes, yeah, I wouldn't mind trying that, and then it's his, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Adams has a set of potatoes, but he hasn't pulled on them yet, so we're curious to see at what point he gets motivated to go for it, you know.
He's only done freestyle lifts where he puts his whole hand on the potato and pulls like 365 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a crazy amount.
He's a really strong guy, and you know, he's doing amazing things, and you know, it seems like he's got a really strict training program, which is, you know, obviously working for him. So I guess he'll just work it in with when he gets to that periodization, I guess is the word.
Yeah. Yep. After King Kong, we'll try to make him lift on the potato the right way if he hasn't yet. And we're like, all right, since we're here, let's see it.
Yeah, he'll do amazingly, for sure. So guys like Harry, he's got really strong fingertips as well. Yeah. Harry Top. Arto. When my mate Tom gets his hand on them, he'll do good things as well.
Yeah. Tom will do really well in his weight class. You see, he's under 176, so yeah, he'll do extremely well. Because there's a climber that has the record in his weight class, but it's only 138 pounds. He'll do way more than that. So
yeah.
See if I can get a pair to Matty Schleight and have him pull on it. An arm wrestler with a giant arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hellboy.
He'll probably hold it in some weird position but still crank it, you know.
See what some of these guys can really do.
In the lightweight class, he's pulling 200 pounds. I can see it.
Yeah, for sure. Just the
Maybe
power
he
weight.
did a one-handed deadlift or one-handed pull-up on the potato, it'd be him. But yeah, nobody's done that yet. One-handed pull-up. That has yet to be done. Maybe Tom could pull that off. That'd be neat to see.
Yeah, he'd get really close to that.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be pretty close on that.
Another guy in the AGC, Ben Cozzy. He's a climber up in the Blue Mountains, one of the world's best. If he gets it, he'll probably do that without too much trouble as well. The one-arm pull-up on it.
Well, if he's listening, he needs to get some.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, he's straight away doing great things. That's.
Yeah, Jason Dingy made the weighted pull-up record just insane. So it's like nobody's gonna top that. You have to strap a couple 100 pounds to your body to beat him at this point.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see.
Yeah, that'll make it a bit tricky, right?
So what's your greatest athletic achievement? I know you've got some world records out there and some trophies.
Oh, I think it'd obviously be the Golden Potato Lift.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've just, I don't know. I've done. I like stuff that's really mentally challenging as well. Like when I lifted my inch, it was, a pretty good moment. I had it for a couple of months. Kind of, after a while, I had periods where I got really close straight away, and then I was nowhere near it. And then I sort of came back, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is going to happen. That was really cool. It's just a couple of climbs as well. They're not the hardest grades, but just mentally a bit higher, out of your comfort zone. It took years to overcome that mental challenge, and I can see that to be, better for me than the harder grade stuff that I've climbed that I did pretty quickly, So, yeah, that's just that, I think. What about you guys?
Oh, my greatest athletic achievement?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a hard question, right?
That is a tough question. I won a national title in martial arts when I was like 12, but that was a long time ago. I wanted to close a number 3 gripper for the longest time ever, and I've closed one in a choker, so I'm getting pretty close. So that's a pretty big one. I've owned grippers for like almost 20 years. So so that's a pretty cool one. Those are up there for sure.
I doubled my body weight senior year in high school for bench press and shattered the record of some football athlete guy. I beat him by almost 50 pounds in my weight class.
Yeah,
so it was about $1.75, and I put up 350.
Wow.
So
53, yeah, that's huge.
But walked out feeling tall.
Yeah, definitely. It was that was pretty awesome. Got to rip his name up and put mine on the board, but some monsters beat it since then. But that's all right.
Yeah, fantastic.
For a while.
Yeah, that's unreal. Good grippers are really hard, right? I find them really taxing. So if they're there, you just want to pick them up and squeeze them. But your fingers and your knuckles and your tendons, the blood flow is so poor that it takes a lot longer to recover than you realize. So when I was training, I'd done the number 3, credit card close a bunch of times years ago, and I could only train it once every 8 days because 4 or 5 days in, I'd feel it and I still felt really sore. And it was only after 7 days that I felt like I could really squeeze without any kind of pain or discomfort. So it's one of those, you've got really hard to stay psyched for 8 days, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
The month. So yeah, closing number 3 is really good as well. It'd be cool to get certified on that one day.
Yeah, I want to get the at least get the max mark to 0, which I think I could. Yeah, I think I could do that this year. So yeah. I've closed the 164 in a choker, and I've closed my 138 several times from a deep set. I could probably get my 151 pounder from a deep set, but I haven't given it a shot yet. So we'll see. I like to make sure I can get it when I try to do it. I'm kind of one of those people,
Yeah.
When I PR by like 2 pounds.
it might be a glass of water and you know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, ah,
Yeah.
good. I can PR again next time. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly right. Save some PRs for later in the week as well.
Exactly.
That's funny.
That's exactly right.
Meanwhile, I'm the exact opposite. I've been trying to get the Collins axle at 300 pounds, and I got up to my knees and dropped it. And then I did like almost locked out, and it fell out. And I'm like, I'm just gonna get it next time. I don't even care.
His PRs are how much higher he gets it off the ground.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You just keep moving the camera lower so it looks higher.
I'm all. I'll just eventually pull 300 pounds in 3 weeks. If it takes me 3 weeks, who cares?
Yeah.
Like my PR is 275, 280. I'm like, I'm just gonna get 300. I don't need to go to 282 or 285. It's gonna be 300.
Well, that's what happens, right? You hit like 280 and you're like, man, that felt easy. I'll go straight to 300 and it doesn't leave the ground.
Yeah,
you go back to 280 and you up because that max effort just sapped you. It's like,
exactly.
why didn't I do 290 and be happy, you know?
That's what
everybody says. I need more endurance in my grip. And there's no such thing as grip endurance. It's just dead dies, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you close a big gripper and then you pull out like the 86 pounder and you can't close it anymore. Like, what happened?
Yeah. I find sometimes when I'm warming up with the grip stuff, even the potato this morning, I hit about, I think about 83 kilos and that felt fine. Went to 88, didn't leave the ground. So I'm like, okay. Went back to 83, didn't leave the ground. Went back to 60 kilos, felt okay. Went 70, then 80, 83, 88, and then 93. Funny,
what is going on here?
Yeah. And I find it all the time with the little bighorn or the grab ball. I'll get to near my limit and I'm like, okay, fantastic. I'll cycle. I'm like, what's going wrong? I was feeling so good, you know? And then you just got to take a bunch of weight plates off and build back up again, you know?
Yeah. My son's finding that out. He's 9 and he's trying to beat somebody that has the record for under 12 years old. And he actually PR'd with his right hand and he's left-handed. He's like, what the heck, Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to kick out of
that.
that.
Sometimes it's not as tired. You can pull that with the other hand.
Yeah. It's a hard thing to explain, right?
Yeah.
Even temperature difference. You get into the garage and it's 10 degrees cooler and your hands aren't quite as warm when you do that third lift, or it's too hot and you're sweating so you slide a little, or, you know, there's a lot of outside forces that affect your session, but
definitely.
I'm having a bad day because I'm weak, you know. Yeah.
So on the opposite spectrum, what would you say is your greatest blunder or blooper?
I've done a couple. I cut the top of my toe off with an axe, which is probably up there. I had a friend coming to go climbing with me, and he was running late, or probably more likely I was really ridiculously early, like always. And I thought, may as well try out that axe that I sharpened up yesterday. So I went down, had a few swings, and then, and as the axe went swinging out to the left, I saw the bit of toe go swinging straight out. I was like, uh-oh. So that was a month off my feet. I had plastic surgery and all that sort of stuff. That was a bad one. Doing my back the other day. That was a bad one. Yeah. The neck one, I'm not even sure what's caused that. I think just way too much left hand lifting. It's probably just slowly push that disc out to the side. But that back, I should have had someone professional look at my technique. Getting to that weight, you know, that was silly. That was really silly. So I'll get a coach for sure when I start looking at those kind of lifts again. You know, I want to do them again. I really want to hit a millennium, but I have to do it the right time. You sort of owe it to your family to do stuff right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard that about the lifting the inch and lifting those dumbbells. If you don't have the right position, that you can definitely tweak one side of your body. Yeah.
It's just such a difficult lift because of the length of it and the globes. You're lifting it lopsided to begin with, but then usually you see most people, it's, you know, the dumbbell sticking straight out. But then to get to lockout, you've then got to turn it sideways. So the bell's 8.5 inches. So you've got to take at least the center of gravity at least 10.5 inches away from yours.
Yeah.
So that's a strain on your back. And at some point, you've got to do that 90-degree turn with the bell to get to lock out above your thighs. And that's so dangerous. And I don't even know any other way around that particular move, you know?
Yep.
So I'm going to do some homework for next time for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I just picked up Jed Johnson's DVD on lifting the inch. So I'm hoping to get some really good info there. I know he knows his stuff, so.
I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check.
Sure.
What's your biggest blunders?
Oh, what's your biggest blunder, Adam?
Oh yeah, breaking rule number
Tell that.
1 of not trying your buddy's stupid ass ideas for a challenge, and he wanted to do a I don't even remember, like 50-pound farmer's run or something, 50 pound in his hands, and it wasn't a walk, it was like a dead-on sprint. It was like, I know I could beat him, so of course I tried, which was a bad idea. And like 4 or 5 feet from the finish line, I just pulled my hamstring completely. And I was done for like 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks after that.
Well, you've got to do these things, man. They're fun, right?
Like,
you look back at the time, like, I'm definitely trying that.
yeah.
The blood comes out, right?
I remember when we first got those 10-inch BMX bikes for Jay and Peyton. We have these, I don't know if you've seen them, these little tiny BMX bikes that are the rocker BMX. They're built for like adults, but they're tiny.
Is that like the those movies do it?
He's grabbing one.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So we ride these in our medley. We have these obstacle course racers come over and we make them do weird crap that they can never possibly think that they're going to run into. And I remember our niece and nephew are riding them. They're jumping off the curbs, hitting jumps, doing just fine. And I wanted to show my nephew like how to do a good jump, like how to really pop up and like get some good air. And I'm like, oh, you know, it's fine. I'll just get going quick and I'll hit this jump and I'll pop up good. And I like actually tried to like jump, which like totally you don't want to do on those bikes. You barely want to like give it any lift or any like effort at all. So I like actually pull up and I wind up flying like 15 feet out into the yard, slam. And as soon as I hit the ground, I mean, there's no way you can control hitting the ground on that thing at that force. So it was just tumble and flip and the bike go flying and I'm just rolling over and nephew's going, "Are you okay, Uncle?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, buddy, just, you know, that's how you want to do it. You want to get a good jump, you know?"
Do exactly the opposite.
You know? That was ridiculous, but yeah, good stuff, you know.
Again, fun stuff, right?
So what's your current major athletic goals?
I'd like to get my left hand lifting back up to speed.
Yeah.
That's the major one at the moment. If I can get my hands on a Millennium bell, I'd really like to lift one of them. That'd be really cool. So I've got to. We're so far away from everything in Australia, so I'll probably have to get it made here, which is not a super cheap venture.
No, definitely not.
Either that or I have to import one. So it's whichever one works out cheaper. So that'd be really cool. I don't know if my body's going to let me get back there again, but that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It'd be really cool to bend a red nail. I'm not so worried about getting, you know, certified on it. I don't know if I can commit enough time to do it regularly enough to get it down pat.
Have you tried it in like double wraps and all that?
Yeah, I had it going, and then I realized that the bar was straight and it was my wrist that was going. I've got some movement. No, I don't. My wrist feels weird. Bar still rolls straight on the table.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I got lucky. I think I kind of got lucky with bending. I'm able to find the technique or the flexibility or something. I only did probably a dozen bends before I got my first red nail.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. He thinks that I'm a magician over here or something like that. And
he's like the cartoon character Gumby. Yeah. That's how flexible he is. It's weird. I'm like, sure.
I'm like, oh, it's just Tai Chi with the bar. You just get back here and boom, you know?
Like nobody bends like that, but yeah. Guess if you could bend like that, you could bend a red nail. Perfect.
he didn't have double wraps because it was, you know, to save his hands. It was double wraps because the bar was 800 degrees.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you didn't see him out there with a blowtorch first.
Yep.
Yeah. No, there's no luck involved there. That's a lifetime of training hard. If you can do that, that's not luck.
Yeah, I've definitely spent my whole life working on keeping my upper back flexible and strong because yeah, I was told I had thoracic spine arthritis when I was like 19, and they said you're going to be in a wheelchair when you're 30, and I'm mid 30s now, and I'm stronger than I was when I was at that age. So whatever.
Fantastic. Good stuff.
Yeah. So, what are some lifestyle habits you subscribe to that may benefit the average person trying to get healthy or fit?
Lifestyle habits. I just try to be active, which is not really a problem for me. Sitting still is really hard for me. If I didn't have sleeping problems, I would definitely say sleep would be a good thing. I think that would benefit me a lot if I could sort that out. But I've always been a pretty poor sleeper. But I see other people that sleep well, and it's a huge benefit to them.
Yeah.
I think your happiness. Is really important. You've got to enjoy what you're doing. I think that's like down to goals as well, right? If you're into grip, it'd be really hard to say, hey, I want to lift 150 on the rolling thunder, and then if you're only doing 90, that's a long way before you hit that happiness. So a lot of micro goals along the way.
Yeah.
I think break up the goal and make achievable ones as well. You know, so celebrate the little stuff as well.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man. Yeah, when I got into grippers originally, it was like, you're not closing a number 3. Who are you? You know, and I was like, come on, man. That's a ridiculous goal.
I'm barely closing a 1 when I start. Come on.
So it's cool to see more people celebrating their number 2 closes, their 2.5 closes, all those things, and all the calibrations, and they can go, hey, man, I'm up in the 130s now instead of, you know, I have this giant crazy goal to go for that, you know, like 80 people have done or whatever, you know. So that's
that's the thing. That's great to have that, but if you're not anywhere near it and that's your goal, man, that's happiness could be a long way away.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first gripper I ever bought was the number 4, believe it or not.
Oh wow.
I was like, you know, kilo climber, and I'm like, I've got strong fingers, and
I can do this number 4. Sure.
Yeah. And, it was there was a company, Australian Kettlebells, down in South Australia. I think they were the only people in Australia that had them at the time. And I thought, man, I don't have that much money. I may as well get the one I want anyway. And, you know, I didn't really realize what I was up against.
It's just a brick.
It's sort of still sitting in the bag of grippers, you know, not sure.
I'd be like getting the inch. I'm just going to train with this dumbbell.
That's right.
Sure you are.
Well, more to the point, the millennium, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Consider the inch like the number 3, and you know, millennium is like, I want to do dumbbells. Yep, well, millennium, of course, obviously, you know.
Yeah, obviously, start with that one. Why don't you start anywhere else?
Exactly.
When you get that, you will be strong.
Siberian bell or nothing.
Yeah, Vegas or bust.
You know, have that new bell that Alex has. It's slightly bigger than the Millennium, I believe.
The Siberian bell?
Yeah.
I saw that. That looks like it's got a pretty slippery handle too, right? I couldn't see much friction. When you put it down, I still couldn't see chalk on it. So
no, that guy's a monster.
100%.
When it comes out of the Arctic Circle, it better be.
Yeah, that bell looks cool. Yeah.
So have you stumbled on any unusual training techniques that most people wouldn't call conventional that's really helped your performance?
I guess myself, I've always emphasized finger strength, and I don't know if other people training grip do that, if that makes sense. You know, crush strength, and then there's wrist strength, and there's some strength, but I've always kind of done a lot of finger strength, and a lot of my training, I think I want to lift this. What's the fastest way I can do it? Is there something that will get me there quicker? if I want to hit, 100 kilos on the flask, is the fastest way just training on the flask, or is there something else I can bring into it that will make that happen faster? And it's also a motivation thing as well. If you go and work on the flask every single day, pretty soon you're going to get sick of the sight of the flask.
Yeah.
So if you can use other implements that will sort of cross over to it, you can stay really psyched. So you think, okay, I train on this particular pinch block. It seems to really help me. And then, 4 or 5 sessions later, you get the flask out. It's kind of really exciting again to try it and see what you're up to.
Absolutely.
Keep that motivation super high. I make a lot of my own sort of machines and training tools and stuff like that. Just some of them work, some of them not so much, but I just think I go to do a lift and
Same way.
yeah, and some of them work great, and
Exactly.
others, I'll turn that into something that actually.
And I never made that.
That doesn't really work right in the hand,
Yeah, exactly. It feels
We're not
awful.
kinesiologists here. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, finger strength. I mean, especially on like thicker bars and axles, because it's going to open your hand when you get to heavier weight. No
There's
matter
not
what.
a lot of grip tools other than the stirrup that really
Yeah,
hit
and I
the
think
fingertips.
you could
Have
really
you seen the Gripster?
Who makes that?
The Gripster.com.
Oh, I don't know if I have. Maybe.
Keep talking and I'll
I was
bring
going
it
to
up
say,
here.
yeah, the finger strength, because the axle's going to come out, and if you have finger strength, you could continue to hold on to it all the way through your lift, even if you don't have the crush there, because that finger strength is going to just keep the hand, the bar in your hand.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So yeah, it has like these big indents here too. So when you pinch, your fingers go quite in from the side. They don't here, they're way tucked in. And it's got, a big fat thing here, and it's got like a rounded part here for lifting, and then it's got this weird little pinch thing right here.
That's probably a really good tool. As soon as you've got an in-cut edge like that, so if you're looking at that thing, the edges aren't horizontal. So like on the potato, this goes straight out at a 90-degree angle, but those ones actually point down a little bit.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. So the thing with that is, if you don't hold it in a hard crimp position, it hurts because that's sticking into your joint. So you're forced to hold it the way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, we've used it, and you definitely have to really crimp it.
That's right.
Really hold that sucker, man. Yeah, absolutely.
you just fight through the pain. That's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Pretty neat.
Get used to finger pain, right?
Yeah.
But things like that would be really good because they force you to use your fingers. Having a good crush grip or a thumb is not going to help. Your fingers are going to be strong enough to hold it the way you're supposed to.
Yep.
Or it's really going to hurt.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. Yeah, like I have a good crush and we have decent wrist, but you get up to a certain point on like the Napalm's Nightmare, and when it slips out, you feel it in the fingertips. That's what you feel. Like, man, that's where it hurts. My fingertips. That's what failed.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
And if you've got your wrist in different positions, it makes a massive difference to your grip. I think John Oker just posted one closing the gripper and holding a coin in the different positions. If you think about any
I
time
haven't tried that challenge yet.
Oh, neither have I.
It's brutal.
I'll have to get the grippers out later and have a go.
Yeah.
If you lift a thick bar or a rolling handle, in your warm-up, your hand's like that, and it feels really good, right? But as soon as you get somewhere heavy, the bar ends up like that in your hand. Sense? And if you cock the back of your wrist back and then try and make a tight fit, man, that's a weak position, right?
Yep.
If you can train your fingers with your wrist in different positions, that's going to make a massive difference to your game as well, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, makes sense. For sure.
Yeah.
So if you could start your training all over again, what would you do different and why?
If you're talking about grip sport,
It can be grip sport or any training.
but for climbing, I wouldn't really change anything. I think I'm the kind of guy that's just going to do it his way anyway. But for grip sport, I'd get a deadlift coach.
Yeah.
Someone to teach me, because it's with climbing, it's all about finger strength and pull down strength, and the more you weigh, the more you lift. So if you've got really strong legs and you cut loose, your feet come off the rock. That's just more weight on your hands. So it's super beneficial to keep your legs and your lower body lightweight.
Yeah.
Come to grip sport, it's all deadlifting. You're locking your body, you squeeze with your hand, and then it's all lower body. So if I did it again for that transition, I'd go and get a proper coach to learn to deadlift. I may not be in the position I'm in now if I did that.
Yeah. It's actually one of the first things we did was we joined up with one of our buddies that's a power lifter. We found a power lifter nearby that wanted to train grip, and had him teach us some deadlift stuff and how to get some power from the ground. And it definitely helped us out. Helped us avoid injury for sure with big axle pulls and whatnot. So
yeah, for sure, for sure. What about you guys? What would you do different?
If I could start my training all over again, grip wise, what I would do different, I probably wouldn't just do grippers like only for 10 years like I did. And I was in college, so I thought to myself, oh, I should just have some grippers. And I was in college forever. I went to college for 11 years, so I was in college for way too long. But nonetheless, story. But yeah, I just had this backpack of grippers, and I would just train grippers. I didn't do extensioners. I didn't do wrist work. I didn't do anything. So I would have probably got into some smaller stuff I could have fit in a dorm room or a small little area, like maybe some arm wrestling stuff or just maybe a sledgehammer or just anything to accompany the grippers. That's what I would have done different. I just didn't have any accompaniment. So yeah, for sure.
I think I would have got into grip sport earlier if I could have, because in high school and after that I was into powerlifting and then into strongman and stuff like that. Didn't train a lot of grip.
He just got into grip like about 9 months ago.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Very high.
I mean, I have the strength foundation, but that's from being a punk teenager and learning just let's lift a bunch of weight, one way or another, and that causes way too many injuries and all kinds of other stuff. So having a coach and a strong program and sticking to it and getting into grip earlier is definitely what I would have changed.
Yeah. I think that comes with age, right?
Yeah.
When you want it and you want it right now.
Exactly. Click. Here we go.
I'm like, I know I
can download, man. Just download these muscles real quick.
I know I can shoulder press 110-pound dumbbells overhead, no problem.
Yeah.
Might not look good and it won't feel good in a few years, but I could do it.
That's exactly right.
Who cares about form? I'm 19. I'm 17 years old. Whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
All that matters is that the cute girl in the gym is walking by when I lift them.
That's right. Hey, you see that? She's like, I don't care anyways.
1001, 1002.
Exactly. That's what you think when you're
you're like, I think you went that way.
That way. What time is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what's the most important piece of equipment in your home gym and why?
Probably my grip machine that I built.
Okay.
Yeah. That's definitely built my foundation for most lifts up. I've obviously had to work on my wrist and my thumb a lot lately, but that thing's been my staple. It's just so widely applicable.
I don't know if Adam's actually seen it, but okay, so it's like a standard, like a Titan grip machine, like what Mike has, but then he's got a jack on the bottom of it, so you can step on it and jack up the weight. And he's also got these pinch implements on it, like two square cutouts on the top and bottom where you can actually pinch the thing upward.
Well, that's cool
for both hands. That's incredible.
On it, I've got one that's a crimp, so the same thing as we were discussing.
I think there's a rolling handle one.
And in the middle, I've got a rolling handle. So your thumb goes on the top bar. So the reason I designed that was being a climber was that I wanted to lift, more than twice body weight. You kind of want 2.5 times body weight, so that when you jump to a hold with one hand, that's all your own body plus the momentum.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to fight with 2 hands, right? So I wanted to be able to do that, but there was no weight on my back, my legs, my neck, because I had my thumb on the top bar that took the weight, right? And so I've got the top bar that holds your thumb, and then the bottom bar actually rolls. So,
Oh, wow.
so it changes the movement up, but the second your hand fatigues, it just rolls straight at your fingers like a normal rolling handle. So it's 100% squeezing or it's gone. I've also made it adjustable, so I'm doing different lift heights. So if I'm crimping it, it'll be a longer range of movement than if I'm just doing, you know, like a choke gripper. Like I can close the gaps only, you know, half an inch, 10 mil, and then just squeeze it so I can go ridiculously heavy like that. Or if I want to put more weight on it, I can, you know, move the range a little bit lower. So, you know, maybe it'll travel 40 mil and I can do squeezes or holds.
Yeah.
And then, as Frank was describing, I've got a lever, so I can step on that and just do negatives. So I can load that up with, you know, 400 or 500 pounds, lift it, hold it, drop it. And that's fine. I can do a heavier negative than I could do, but I could lift it. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But that thing's been the biggest thing for my strength for sure.
Nice.
For sure.
Do you have any final advice on people trying to get healthy and fit, the average person just starting out?
I think just the common answer everyone says, just start. Just start. You want to get fit, and you think, oh, I really should go for a run. I'll do it next week. Well, just go right now. Step out the door, walk around the block, and then the next day do 2 blocks. You know, you've just got to make a start, and it's so enjoyable. Your body quickly remembers how much it likes actually moving. Your body doesn't want to sit still. You want to be moving. And, you know, sometimes you get really irritable, and what's wrong? And you start walking, and about a kilometer in, you're like, man, this is what I was missing. You know, I needed this. I need to be moving.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So just set a goal or a target, set some micro goals to get you there, some stepping stones, and then just get into it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. 100% agree, man. You just got to get started. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so odd that the start's so small that why does it take so long?
There's tons of scientists in our country trying to figure that out, let me tell you.
Yeah, exactly. You put it off, and you're like, man, when you did it, I'm like, why didn't I do this 3 weeks ago? I could be pretty fit already after 3 weeks of work, right?
Then when you get into it, man, you injure yourself. And I've been out of the gym 2 months with a bulging disc in my back, my low back, and I'm getting into it. And it's like, I got to hold myself back from the gym so I don't overdo it. Because it's like, oh, I was released to do weights. Let's go. Let's lift. Come on. And I'm like, all right, maybe I'll do once a week so I don't kill myself. And you're just able to get back in it. And you have to hold yourself back to get to that point. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's really hard thing to do. If you're able and then you feel good, my physio said don't go over 70%, and then my 7% keeps creeping.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I think it was Tim. I think he goes by Timmy on Instagram. As soon as his doctor told him he could do 50 pounds, he was like, "Oh, Blob, here we go."
Yeah,
That's not the same 50 pounds.
Like, that's not an easy 50 pounds. It's about the hardest 50 pounds you're gonna lift.
that's exactly right. When my physio said 70%, I'm like, okay, so which one of my lifts is maxed at 70%? I'm gonna go train that thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's so frustrating to do rolling handle and stop like halfway to your max. I'm like, put it away again. But it'll be worth it in the long run, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So, do you have any questions for us, Couch Potato Strong, before we let you go?
Yeah. What's the next implement?
The next implement we're gonna invent?
whatever grows in the garden.
Yep, whatever grows out there.
Yeah, right.
I think our hottest thing that we may eventually wind up putting out is the concrete blobs. The concrete blob trainers. Have you seen those?
Yeah. Cool idea.
Yeah, I can make those in like 8-inch, 9 or 8 centimeter, 9 centimeter, 10 centimeter, and I mean they fit the hand way better than the blob trainer.
Yeah,
that we
they're
play
awesome.
with.
Okay.
Than the blob trainer, because I played with the same one you have, and we have the same one. It's real round, just doesn't feel like a blob. It really doesn't. And if you could get a decent amount of weight on those concrete ones, then you could definitely get an actual blob.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
The shape is extremely similar, so that's
So
the
it'll be
big thing.
attached to a loading pin again.
It actually, yeah, I'll show you how they work real quick.
I think after that might be the onion.
Well, okay, do tell.
It'll
layers.
grow. I mean, it'll be some vegetable, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Some layered increment.
Layered implement. You could do like an anvil trainer with the end of a sweet potato.
Yeah, who knows? So yeah, I mean, we made these. They came out so well too. These blob trainers, and people that can't just go out and get a blob. You can really work your way up. So it's really cool.
You guys make the potatoes yourself?
No, they grow in our magical garden outside our gym.
Oh, of course.
That's why I said whatever grows next. I'm thinking it might be an onion or cucumber. Who knows?
Okay. Cross-pollination from the birds and see what happens.
Exactly.
So yeah, if you see here, there's actually a loading pin on the blob.
Cool idea. Yeah, that's.
So then you can use it for, curls or whatever you want to do, presses, whatever, blah, blah, blah. However you want to do it. We can just put some of the micro gains on there if we want to, make sure the plates don't move.
Yeah.
So you can just throw 25 on the bottom and throw a bunch of plates on it.
Yeah,
whatever.
for like 8.
Yeah, this is the same width across the top as the Fat Man is.
Oh, okay.
And it goes out just like that.
Yeah. That's
so
a great
honestly,
idea.
Shape-wise, it feels better to me. It feels a lot closer to a blob than the trainers do. The round cap trainers. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the closer it is, the more helpful it's going to be, right?
For sure. And these things are great. So I don't know. I may wind up getting these out there. That's probably the best of the DIY implements we've made that actually fits the bill the best, I think.
Yeah. I'll get one for sure. Looks
yeah,
cool.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it's so hard to get blobs down there. It'd be cool. And they're disappearing. I mean, it's so hard to get them. I think Robe wants to eventually make them. So that'd be cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah. It's a bit tough down here. I guess it's just it's not even the cost of the product, the shipping. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
I love Iron Mind axle, but man, that's a big investment. The shipping are that size. No, I'll be using my homemade one for now.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, that'll probably be the next implement we get out there.
Yeah, cool.
And I don't even think that'd be that bad to ship to you. I mean, it's small enough to fit in one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Just be international. You can get a couple of them over there.
Yeah. Let's put them in a box. I'm sure the AGC will want one.
Yeah,
for sure. So
no worries.
But yeah, it's pretty much we've done a lot of implements. See, we did the secret weapon, the wristy twisty thing was pretty cool, which is like basically like if you can imagine a wrist roller where you grab it like this and you can twist this way and you get full tension the whole way. It's like a bazooka shaped wrist roller basically. And the string goes over the side of the bazooka. If you can imagine, like the string goes over the side of the long tube and you can twist it and you can get tension the entire way. So like a hammer lever where you have no tension up here, there's no resistance up here. There's only resistance over here and over here. This thing gives you resistance through the entire rotation.
You get pronation, supination the whole way through, so it's nice.
So that's something I developed that I didn't know if there was too many. I haven't seen too many things on the market like that. There's an attachment for the grippedo that you can kind of make work in that manner, but it's not quite the same. So I don't know. That was another one that we thought of. If I ever learned to weld, which I have no idea how to weld, but I'm going to take that up eventually, I'll probably come up with a lot of really neat stuff.
Yeah. I'll send you some more of my stuff, and you can make it pretty easily and see if you like it.
Awesome.
Absolutely, yeah, that'd be cool.
That's way cool, man, for sure.
Yeah. I'll put up a video on my machine as well. I'll post it.
Sweet,
nice.
Yeah, and then everyone can see what I'm talking about.
For sure. All right, man. Thanks for joining us.
The invite. Thanks for the invite.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Congrats on the Golden Potato Record, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
We're excited to see what you can do when you're 100% healthy.
Yeah, I'll hopefully get an increase in the near future.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for your time, guys. Take it easy. Nice chatting.
You too. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Yeah, bye.